So the Soap and Clay Kidlets and I had so much fun yesterday with you guys. It was an absolute blast. Actually making these soaps was so much fun. And we decided that they are going to help me, choose things from now on. And also they're going to be doing some with me, with some of them. Today is not one of them doing stuff with me, but it is one that they picked, and it's a doozy. So it's a lot, really, and I can't wait to show you what that it is. But I will tell you more about it in just a minute. But before I do, hello, I am Mrs. Soap and Clay. Let's make stuff. How's it going, Sudsers? Welcome back to the channel. You are at Soap and Clay, where we make all the soapy things, and you are here for day 307 of 365 days of soap, and today we're doing another Nailed It soap series challenge. And so if this is the first time you're here, hi, welcome, glad you're here. What we are doing with this is we are taking episodes from the actual show Nailed It on Netflix, where they bake things to look like things, and I am trying to recreate the brief in soap form. And so it's been a wild ride. Some of them have been good, some of them have been not so much. It's been a lot of fun regardless. And so today, Soap and Clay Kidlet request, we are making sushi soaps, which sounds gross. But as you know, somebody pointed out on Twitch when I mentioned it, that there was something very, very funny about making a soap in the shape of a fish. And so that's what we're going to do. I will put up the thing where what we're making, somewhere, like the actual design or whatever, as I've been doing in the things, all of the jazz. But let's get to the video and you can see how I fared with sushi soap. Okay, so getting the Soap and Clay Kidlets involved in this might have been a bad idea, because the first thing that they picked that they thought would be funny and fun was sushi soaps. And so what I did with the first round was I poured some cold process into molds that I usually use for face paste and lotion, because it's 5 round sushis and then a sashimi, right? And I poured it thick and did not smooth out the top to sort of give me a rounded part of this to put the little rice thingies on, which I am making by hand. And I told you a couple days ago, the white that I've been using is not actually from a soap dough recipe. It's from the surfactant test that we did. I took half of each of those bars and, just kind of kneaded them out and wrapped them up, and that was my soap dough. And it totally works, but the stuff is a little bit sticky. And so the best way to get sticky soap dough not sticky is A, knead it out and leave it on the counter in open air for a while and check on it every few hours to make sure it's not getting overly dry. Or 2, put a crap ton of either baking soda or cornstarch into it. Like, just cover it in cornstarch, knead it, more cornstarch, knead it, and then it becomes a really fun consistency. Like, I forget what it's called. But yeah, so, like that Aaron Smart Putty or whatever. Very cool consistency. And so that's my recommendation for that. And here is, the finished riced sushis a million years later. It actually wasn't that bad, but it felt like it was going to be, because that's a lot of little grains of rice to make. And yes, I could have made it wildly easier, but as I've said, I can't find my extruders, I can't find my extruder plates, my discs. I I couldn't find anything. And so I just rolled them into little balls and did the thing. And it didn't take too terribly long. And because that soap dough from the surfactants test was so wet still, sticky, I actually just put a little bit down to act like, spackle or whatever, and used that to help the little rice thingies stick to all of the, soaps that have already been made and, gone through sponification and whatnot. So there's that. That's how I did that thing. And yeah, it was kind of a weird process with all of this. And for the top, because it does need to be rounded, I am going to just take a hunk of that white soap dough and just kind of smear it on the top there to make a rounded whatever, and then go ahead and put the rest of the rice on. I wonder how they actually did this in the show. Like, how did they make the rice in the show for these? Because they were sushi cakes. They were little cakes in the form of sushi, all about this size. How did they make rice? Now I want to go look at the show. I don't have time to go look at the show, so if you guys know, let me know. And the next step of this process was obviously, putting the seaweed around the outside or whatever. So wrapping the 5 rounds. And then I'm going to also need to build my sashimi on top. So we'll do that. And then all of the other little fun things that go on top of each of these 5 rounds. So it's going to be a lot of fun, really. And I still forget to put, baking soda or cornstarch down on the counter. So I'm forever using my dough scraper. But, I have a lot of dough scrapers. I still can't find a, what is that called? Oh, a flathead screwdriver. Right, one of the most common things in the world. I still can't find a flathead screwdriver that's big enough to turn the crank of my pasta maker. But the second I do, that thing is going to become a soap shop staple, and it will never be used for pasta again. Not that it ever was. I mean, it was literally one time. One time. That was it. So yeah, and the actual molding of all of this onto the soap, no problem at all. Super easy. Just kind of fold it and press it and do all the things, and then, put rubbing alcohol on it to get all of the rest of the white stuff from the baking soda or the cornstarch off and make it look all shiny and pretty. And yeah, that was actually a very easy process. That only took maybe about 3 or 4 minutes of my life to wrap all of those. So that was excellent. Now the hard part begins, making all of the little toppers that go on all these. Okay, now on to all the little fun things. And so with some of them, I made more, balls like the rice, and then just rolled them in an appropriately colored mica. And the rest of them actually very, very easy. They were just kind of hunks of soap dough in the right colors that I tinted to the right colors using mica. Just kind of fold into the soap dough and knead it in until it's the right color. And for the sashimi, I'm just painting the lines with, I think it's actually koi from Mad Mica, because that makes sense. It should be, right? Fish. Yeah. And I sprayed it with rubbing alcohol before doing the painty paint thing. And now I will put that on top and then kind of wait for it to dry for the mica to dry before I start shaping it to actually perfectly match the shape of, the oval one there. You get it? And while that's drying, I can move on to placing all of the rest of the cute little topper things. And that will be fun. This was when the Soap and Clay Kidlets called me in to look at the TV where they had paused it to show me what they wanted me to do. I took one look at that and went, I don't want to. That's going to be so hard. And interestingly, I think this has been the least hard one that we've done yet. And that's cool. I mean, the emojis weren't terribly complicated. They were all right. The pirate was kind of a disaster figuring out how, you know, feet and hats and hooks were going to stick and stay on a, you know, donut, really, without using toothpicks, which I didn't use. And the cupcake one was, I guess, not terrible, but I was really, really scared about this one. Like, how even? And it's going to take me 1,000,000 years to make, right? I gave myself for these ones 40 minutes to do all of them. And when it was all said and done, I ended up doing this in under 30. So that's not bad, all things considered, for sure. And so I'm pretty proud of myself, you know, especially since I'm doing this with soap and therefore not in a kitchen, like a studio kitchen that's fully equipped with all manner of colors of fondant that you're going to need and the appropriate like ricing tool to make the fondant or the chocolate or whatever into something that looks like rice. Or, you know, they have all that stuff at the Nailed It, you know, studio, and I don't have any of the right tools to do all of this. So I'm just kind of making other tools work for my purposes. And so, yeah, all things considered, it wasn't terrible. Had to recolor a lot of different mica or soap doughs with micas and figure all that out. But it worked. Had to hand roll a whole bunch of rice grains, and it didn't take too long. I was very, very intimidated by this one though. And the Soap and Clay Kidlets were actually in the shop with me for all of this and just gobsmacked, you know, every time that I did something new to all of this. They're like, wow, that's so good. It's so perfect. I had my great cheerleaders with me. They were definitely cheering me on, and it was fun. It became a very enjoyable experience. And I was so just sort of, you know, chuffed at the entire thing that I was also listening to a Twitch feed with one of my, you know, Twitch streamer friends doing their thing. And I, you know, mentioned that I just made sushi soaps and they wanted to see them. So I put it in one of their Discords and got to show, you know, the Twitch universe, or my friends there at least, the finished product before you guys all got to see it. And that's how excited I was. I actually had to show people. And then I think a couple days later, I couldn't take the suspense any longer, and I had to post it in the Soap and Clay Discord too. So the Soap and Clay, you know, sudsers that are part of the Discord also got to see it early, because I was just so proud of myself with these, because they ended up super cute. And I was shocked because, as we've said multiple times, I do not art. I don't know how to art. But, you know, apparently I know I'm pretty good at copying, because these all look pretty dead on. Like, I'm not mad at it, you know? Now for this last one, it has the pink things on top with a white center. So I just, you know, rolled out a white thing and then just wrapped it in pink soap dough. And now I'm cutting it. So there it is. It's easy enough, right? Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. I really was so shocked at how seamless this particular one went. And I don't know, it made me, I guess, feel confident in doing more complicated designs later, you know, with this Nailed It thing, because there's some really complicated ones. There is one that is like a teapot suspended in the air, pouring tea, like onto a cake. And I haven't actually seen how they managed to do that in the Nailed It show, but it boggles the mind how anyone could do that with, you know, cake, but also with soap in such a giant form. Because it was like a full-sized, you know, round cake, like an 8-inch round or whatever underneath. And so that teapot, giant, wild. But anyway, I don't know that I'll ever try to do that one, but I think I might try to do some harder ones now and see if I can manage those. I don't know. But these, when it's all said and done, are just so unbelievably adorable. And the final thing with the sashimi, everything's dry. It's just pressing it all down so it forms nicely to the oval. And now they're all done. And they are freaking cute. That's just fun. And look, now it's soap that looks like fish. And that's funny. And so, I don't know. I liked it. I did not hate this. I thought I might end up hating everything about the Nailed It challenge because tedious and art stuff and whatever. And they were surprisingly all very, easy. They've been, well, maybe not easy, but, enjoyable while I've been doing it. So I guess that's really all that counts. But now I have to make sure that they're all in the same order as the picture that I took off of my television, so we can have a comparison and a side-by-side. So there it is. That's so cute. That's day 370, the Nailed It Sushi Challenge in soap form. And ta-da! I think they're adorable. I think I did a really fun job with all of this, especially considering I couldn't find anything that would actually make any of this easier. But yeah, there's a lot of ways that this could have been easier. The longest process with all of it really was making the individual little rices, but they're cute, and it surprisingly didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. So for that, I think this is a win. I think I nailed it with this one. I love these so very much. They're super cute. So good job, Soap and Clay Kidlets, picking something that, I was really scared about. But again, I do kind of love the idea of washing your, body with something that looks like sashimi or fish. It's funny. I like that. So yeah, these, ton of fun. And I loved this. And so if you guys are interested in more Nailed It fun, we will be doing a few more in the series for sure, because I'm going to keep doing this until I don't have fun anymore. And these ones were so good that I think that I could be, a Nailed It champion. I don't know how to bake. Anyway, if you're interested in seeing what else we do, subscribe, like, comment, share, do all the things. For those of you who have subscribed, liked, commented, and shared, hey, you are my sudzers, and you are wildly more important than everybody who doesn't do that thing. That's a fact. So thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. I'm out of here for today, but I will see all of you guys again tomorrow for another round of soapy fun. Bye.